Everyone out there is giving draft grades, right? And we're not like everyone. So let's grade the graders, guys.
Yeah.
Seth, as we look at these grades from some of the major media and football sites, which of these grades makes the most sense to you?
Oh, all of them except the B's and C's.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there are no C's. I'm looking here. There's no C's.
I'll tell you one thing. Pro Football Focus takes a very analytical approach to things, which is fine. I like and respect that. I think that this draft is one in which there's a little bit of just kind of aggression that comes from the gut and that it's time to get better as a football team. So you go after 2 of the top 5 players in the draft, and it's hard to measure those things. Ultimately, it gets graded when 3 years from now, hopefully those guys are awesome and this draft was an A, or they're not even on the team anymore, then this draft was an F.
And before we get to you, Matt, let's go back to last week's dream scenarios. Give credit to Matt Musil for nailing what happened Thursday. Here they are, CJ Stroud and Will Anderson, and you even mentioned moving up to get Will Anderson.
Well, they had to move up to get him. I'm just concerned now because I like Nick Caserio's grade incomplete. I really think we need to go incomplete here. I'm looking back at history. The last 2 teams that got those top 3 of the first 5 you're talking about, 92 Colts, they went 9-7 that season. The 2000 Redskins, though, we can say that because that's what they were, went 8-8. Now, I would take either 9-7 or 8-8.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go New York Post, even though every time I click on an article, they want me to subscribe. I like the New York Post, a straight A. I'm going to go with that.
I think A- is certainly good for this group. I think emotion plays a lot into this because Texans fans are not used to being spoiled.
Yeah.
And when you got 2 of the top 3 picks and arguably the top offensive player and the top defensive player, I'm A-. I go back and forth between B+, A-, so I'm going to say A-.
Yeah, I'm going to go with an A, a solid A. And it's more so not just the players that were drafted, because I know a lot of these people kind of judge on the players, their projections, and how they fit on the team. But this was an emotional moment for the franchise. And that's why I give them an A, because they were aggressive. And so for the first time in ever, they showed this type of aggression on draft day, with the exception of trading up to get Deshaun several years back. So I think you do have to work in that element into a grading system. Some of those other publications don't really take that into effect or take that and work it into it. So I'm going to go with an A when you wrap it all together.
I know Seth thinks that the expansion draft when he came to be a Texans was the best draft ever.
That's not true. Okay.
But nothing compares
not
to
even
what
close.
happened on Thursday night. That was a fantastic moment for this franchise.
Yeah, it was. No, 2006 was the best draft ever. And we can say that right now because those guys actually played.
Yeah.
They're starters. That's Owen Daniels. That's D'Amico Ryans, Eric Winston. So if this draft class ends up being better than that, it's going to be because you got 2 guys at the top that do have the potential to be all-pro.
And guys, immediate impact, that's what you want from a draft class. So by week 8 of this season, how many of these 9 draft picks will be starters?
Oh, boy, that's a great question.
Thank you.
As I said, that 2006 Texans draft class was the best so far. They had about 5 guys probably start by about week 8. I'm going to say that I like To'oTo'o a lot, but I think that they're going to take their time with him. There are a lot of veteran inside linebackers on the roster already. So I'm going to go with 4, assuming that one of those interior offensive linemen end up starting a game by week 8.
Okay. Number 4 is a good number. You got the top 2 draft picks. You got Tank. You got one of the interior linemen, I think, is going to get that starting center job. Dylan Horton, possibly, born in Houston. Almost have to start that guy. It almost might be 6 if Brandon Hill, that hard-hitting safety from Pitt, comes in here, does his thing. But I'm going to be conservative. I am the eternal optimist on this staff, but I'm going to go 5. Daniel?
Well, I guess I'm going to take that title away from you because I think I'm going to go with 6 because we're going by week 8, right? Obviously, we've got the top 2, CJ, Will, Tank. I like Dylan starting by week 8. I also like To'oTo'o start. I went back and watched some of the game video on him against Texas, and he was really sharp, really aggressive. I think he starts by week 8. And, that's what you want right out of draft class. You want these guys back in there.
Fantastic.
No doubt. I'm going to go with Seth. I'm going to go alongside Seth with 4. Certainly the first 2 guys, you want them starting. And then Juice and Tank, and those are my 4 starters. Speaking of starters, last year's starting quarterback, Davis Mills. Where does this draft class leave him? Davis Mills must have known this was coming. So what happens to Davis Mills with CJ and Case Keenum also on this roster?
I think that the first thing Davis Mills should do is that I think that this system would be good for him. He needs to make it clear to the coaches and to Nick Caserio that he'll stay and have a good attitude and work his butt off and be committed to the team, even if he's relegated to a third string role on this team. And I think that could be very good. Learning this system, which about half the teams in the NFL right now run, can do really, really good things. For a young guy who's shown flashes of ability, he's got some athleticism. It's just a matter of it's not the right time for him right now.
So you think third string? He's going to be relegated to the third string?
I think for now, yeah. And then it might depend on how the spring goes. And if they get, I know it doesn't seem like it. There's always somebody looking for a project to take on as quarterback. And Davis Mills might be the right guy for some other team. And there's a little, like a fringe 7th round pick type of trade.
And you talk about the system. This is the Gary Kubiak system, right? Or that hybrid
derivative,
some blend of it.
There you go, a blend of it. And all the quarterbacks who played in that system say it's the best. It's the best for quarterbacks. Well, I wonder why. Yeah, there's a former quarterback who came up with it. I think this would be really good for Davis. He's a smart guy. He's got a strong arm. He needs to get back to where he was in 2021 in some of those games when he's playing well. But yeah, he's just had to suck it up. He's making good money. Be a quarterback, a backup quarterback in the NFL. Don't get a glimmer in your eye right now that, hey, someone's going to take me and make me a starter.
Yeah, I mean, look, anything can happen. I mean, you go in, Seth, you're right. I mean, he's not the guy, and we haven't seen this from him, to have an attitude or to pout on the sidelines or to quit on the team like other people have. So I'm not, he's not going to do that. He will learn the system, and I think it's going to be very beneficial to him. Anything can happen. Guy gets hurt, he may be brought. I mean, just buy your time.
D'Amico's team was playing their 4th string quarterback in the NFC Championship game.
Exactly.
And had to go back to the injured 3rd string quarterback.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So it's good for him to kind of stay the course.
No first rounders from the Houston area in this draft, but lots of players chosen. So which one will make the biggest impact next season? Who wants to start this one off?
I'll go, and it goes between 2 running backs for me, but either Devon Achane in Miami, or I actually am going to go with Roschon Johnson, Port Arthur kid. Not maybe a Houston kid, but local-ish enough. If it wasn't for Bijan Robinson, he probably could have been taken a little higher because he would have gotten more carries. Bijan was an incredible talent, but I think Roschon's going to be really good in Chicago. He's going to fit well. I think the fan base is going to love him. They love running backs, that power running style that Roschon has. He catches the ball out of the backfield. I think that was a great pick by Chicago.
I know the Cougs love Derek Parrish, and as a defensive lineman, they loved him. He was very productive this year before his biceps injury. The Jaguars draft him to also try his hand at fullback. He's got a good opportunity there because they played almost 0 snaps with a fullback last year. So Jacksonville has that need, and he is as athletic as any defensive lineman out there. This might be a really good spot for him if he has an opportunity to really grow and learn as a fullback.
Yeah, for sure. My pick is Devon Achane. This guy, because I've followed him from day one, I remember we were doing highlights and went, what is that name? Devon Achane? We didn't even know how to pronounce the kid's name. Well, it didn't take long to figure it out. He's not large physically, but man, the way he ran the football in high school and in college, guess what? In Miami, the Dolphins have a little more idea of offense than Jimbo Fisher did at A&M. Devon Achane is a fantastic athlete. He's got great speed. He was an All-American as a trackster here a couple of years ago. Devon Achane, I think, will make an immediate impact on the Dolphins offense.
I'm with you. Devon Achane, Mike McDaniel pulling the strings. Watch out. Watch out. All right, that's going to do it for Seth Payne. Seth, we're going to put you on mothballs, I think, until maybe camp starts?
Yeah, there will be no misfortune that I need to come on and talk about for the Texans. I promise you.